I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
So here we go, guys. After the world is in ruins due to a man-made plague, a battle of biblical proportions ensues between the survivors in Stephen King's The Stand.
My name is Abigail Fremantle. You come see me at Hemmingford Hall.
Here I come.
Hello? Anyone alive out there?
Gonna
Boom.
And that is the teaser trailer for CBS All Access's The Stand. And I have actually a few notes this time, so I'm going to kick it to Sanford to start the section off. I know, right?
Okay, so The Stand, obviously, this is a teaser, not a full trailer. So teasers like this of established properties are really more to hype, like, fans of that property, and then maybe to just intrigue people who haven't been on board of that property before. Since I've never read The Stand, I don't know what's happening in this little teaser because it's only like 28 seconds long. Seems fine. I guess it does kind of intrigue me. You know, it does set up the tone. Whoopi Goldberg is there. So that's good for Whoopi Goldberg. One time I went to Comedy Sports when I was a kid, which is a improv thing, and I for some reason thought Whoopi Goldberg was just the funniest concept, and the room was decked out in Whoopi Goldberg stuff, and so I just kept yelling Whoopi Goldberg whenever they asked for a person. And so these poor guys kept having to do jokes about Whoopi Goldberg.
Sentence that we're going to set up, so it'll go like this. Oh, I'm so hungry, I wish I had a...
Whoopi Goldberg!
Okay, but we want it to be actual food so that it like makes sense of the game. It's more fun that way. So let's try it one more time. Oh, I've got to get home so I can feed my...
Whoopi Goldberg!
You know what? Let's just play the game, okay?
That's hilarious. To me, I'm so
Wondrous.
the way you said like Whoopi Goldberg is this hilarious concept, and then I'm just like Whoopi Goldberg is a concept, not a person.
Yes. she obviously Whoopi Goldberg is a person, but she's above all that too. Yeah. Like Whoopi Goldberg is a force of nature.
That is hilarious though. That you
Sanford
just
in the back of the
Whoopi
room
Goldberg
just going.
Oh man.
Whoopi
Yeah.
Goldberg.
I was probably 10 at the time.
They probably hated you.
Oh, absolutely.
They were get out of there. So we're at a New York deli, and I need a Whoopi Goldberg.
I remember they had to do this whole thing where they're supposed to do jokes where the setup is always the same. I saw a B movie about or with blank that was so bad, and then the audience says, how bad was it? And then they tell a joke. And I said Whoopi Goldberg, and they kept doing, I saw a B movie about Whoopi Goldberg that was so bad. But I'm like, you said the two things before. Why are you trying to make the movie about Whoopi Goldberg? Just make it easier for you and make the movie starring Whoopi Goldberg. But no, they kept saying that the movie was about Whoopi Goldberg.
It's a Whoopi Goldberg biopic starring other people.
Yeah. There's a lot of B-movie Whoopi Goldberg biopics, apparently. That's what I have to say. So I guess popcorn to Mike.
Just like Matt, I haven't read this. Haven't read a lot of Stephen King, but I did a little research. You know, there's a lot of people in this movie. Things of note or people of note. James Marsden's in this. Greg Kinnear, I like him. Whoopi Goldberg, we said. We also got Alexander Skarsgård, sibling to another Skarsgård who was in Stephen King's It movies. The one thing that's negative is that Amber Heard is in this, and if anyone has followed the news of her and Johnny Depp, She could just go away and do her own thing, and I'd be happier than seeing her and stuff. Another weird thing, and this is only on their Wikipedia and not on their IMDb page, so I don't know how trustworthy this is, but under the cast listing and not listed as a character, we have Marilyn Manson, and that's weird. And also, recently in the news, because of, I guess he treated Evan Rachel Wood very horribly, who she has been speaking out against. It's another negative. But again, this is Wikipedia, and someone could have just thrown that in here for giggles, and I don't know. So, there is like a million characters from this thing, which just knowing, I mean, in movies and TV, it's hard to keep track of that many people, and even just looking at the character list from the books and even the comics, because there was a comic that Marvel Comics released a few years ago. There's like 30 characters, and they each
30 plus main characters
are like, you know, they each have their own thing, and it's to me, it's just like, that's so many. I mean, beloved properties like this, whenever they like get the go ahead to become a movie or series or this or that, there's always a sense of like, you know, from the fandoms of, they could really screw this thing up, you know? And we don't have a lot. We have 30 seconds of footage, random footage to go off of. So I'm going to move it on to Corey, because he is an actual fan of this, that maybe he can shed some light on whether or not, you know, he thinks this is going to be good or not. He has a little bit more insight. I'm just worried with this many characters, it could be a cluster F of things. So, Corey, why don't you take it away?
Here we go, guys. So as you might have seen, because it flashed a few times in that little teaser trailer, this will be streaming exclusively on CBS All Access. What they didn't mention is this is going to be a 9-episode miniseries. So 9 episodes, roughly about 45 minutes apiece, is so much more time to tell this epic tale than the first run did, that I already think we're steps ahead of where we were before. 1994 was when the original came out, or the original miniseries came out on ABC at the time. But there are 30 plus main characters in the novel. That doesn't mean they're necessarily going to have all of them being so prevalent in the miniseries itself. Like, I already know they're taking some liberties and changing some genders and changing some ages and changing some like backstories, like just from what I've seen in the IMDb and on the Wikipedia. Now, the original miniseries came out as a 4-part miniseries. It was 2 hours per part, totaling at 7 hours 36 minutes with like the cuts for commercials and stuff, because it did air on ABC. It was a 2-night mini event, and it like took the place of Roseanne and Monday Night Football, which I thought was kind of funny. The original had also was star-studded for the time. You had Gary Sinise, Molly Ringwald, Jamie Sheridan, Laura San Giacomo, who was very popular at the time, not so much anymore, Ruby Dee, Miguel Ferreira, Rob Lowe, and I always mess up his name. He's the voice of Patrick on SpongeBob. Bill, it's like Fadgerbacky, or however he pronounces it. He was also like, I probably butchered it.
It just
and
sounds
you two
funny.
Can jump
it
in
sounds
anytime.
like a funny word. Fadgerbacky. What? Sorry. Go ahead.
So in an interview Stephen King did in it was like 93 or 94, it was around the time this was going to be released on ABC. He mentioned that when he was writing this, like Fernanda said, he was really going for this huge sort of epic tale, to the point that he himself was losing track of characters. So in his studio in his home in Maine, he had like Post-it notes and string connecting all these characters like across a huge wall of like, all right, Nick Andros meets Tom Cullen here, and they know each other from there. And it was just this huge web that I think he took a picture of and posted at some point on the internet, but I didn't really look very hard to find it. But it was like, even himself in his prime, this was like driving him mad, how many characters he created and how many storylines he was trying to tie into this one final battle, which is essentially, I'm not going to say what the ending is because I don't want to spoil it. I know what it is. And anyone who watches the original can know what it is. But I have so much hype for this, even with Amber Heard, even with possible Marilyn Manson, that when they released this trailer, I watched it 17 times in a row just because I was like, oh, that's Trash Can Man possibly, or oh, that's probably going to be Andros, or oh, that's probably going to be Stu Redman. That I knew this had to be my pick, even though I was hesitant to pull this as my pick for the last second because they also just dropped the Dune remake trailer, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I could always slide that in real quick and make Fernandez have to download that and put that in its place. But I am so hyped for this that I decided to just stick with this. And that's the end of my notes. That's the end of my thoughts. So I guess let's move on to the boom or bust section, right?
Hey, everybody. It's time to do the boom or bust for the stand. I guess I'll go first. I'm going to say boom. This looks pretty good. Should be good, right?
Yeah.
Corey, I know what you're going to do, so you should just do it right now.
Boom! I want boom. So much boom. Boom forever. All Stephen King things boom. Actually, I wonder if there's enough. No, probably not. Stephen King material trailers out there for me to just always pick a Stephen King trailer till the end of the hype train.
It's on CBS All Access. Like,
I got it.
what is that? I didn't even. There's so many streaming things. We'll do another. We got to do another platform wars.
That's what Star Trek is on now.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So I don't know. Picard and Lower Decks. And...
because it's on another streaming service that feels inaccessible to me. I want to bust it, but I don't know. This is a huge deal. Corey, you're really into it. I think I want to give it a triple bust or triple boom. I want to give it a triple bust boom for you, Corey, because this seems like a big deal for Stephen King fans and for you.
Please step aside and let the customers off the train first.